Skin colour. What about, like, changing the nose, like?
He used to get teased by his family a lot by the size of his nose, being called Big Nose and all this stuff. And he used to say his dad used to be the main one. Oh, you didn't get that from me, you got that from your mum, and you didn't get it from my side of the family. It hurt him a lot, you know? So Michael used to dance about 3 hours a day on average. At one stage, he was doing 50 spins in a row. It was unbelievable. He fell over and broke his nose. And he saw it as a perfect opportunity while he was under anaesthetic to just get the nose smaller. I don't know how many operations he had, and it's not a discussion I went into detail with him on, but clearly he's had operations on his nose. Back then, plastic surgery, Botox, we couldn't talk about it. It just wasn't a thing. So he had to maintain this image because he had record companies behind him who paid him billions. But in the end, he would play on that. So a lot of times the media would have seen him. It's not how I would have seen him. He would make himself look ridiculous to wind the media out.
What it do, YouTube? It's Coffee. Back with an update. Got some topics to get in with y'all, man. And you guys heard that there. He worked with MJ, Michael Jackson, R.I.P. to the king of pop. For the longest time, Billy Joel voice. And, you know, you heard him, man, like way back, surgery, plastic surgery, just a lot of different things. There was a different type of stigma behind it back in the day that isn't like that nowadays. You know what I mean? Nowadays, everyone's talking about BBLs, switching up, everything, if you feel me. Y'all know what I'm talking about with that, right? Like, things just change in many ways from... It's like we're talking about here, people getting operations to just what's discussed to many different things in society. And back in the day, you know, MJ didn't want to talk about this stuff. He kept it on the low, though. You heard dudes say that, like, reportedly, Michael Jackson said he only ever got 2 procedures on his nose. Comment and let me know if you think that's true or cap. But he said he doesn't know the actual number, but it all stems from the family making fun of Mike, making fun of his nose. Dude was talking about the dad was the main one who would say, oh, you got your ma's nose, you got a big ass nose, this, that, and the third. And all that practice and dancing, which we know Michael Jackson, I mean, dude, the moonwalk and all them moves, the way he could just glide across the floor, I'm sure he was always practicing. And that one day he slipped, fell, busted his nose, and seized the opportunity to switch it up. Personally, I'm just guessing this. I think, you know, maybe he got a little, I don't want to say addicted or hooked on those procedures, but I don't know. Oh, maybe if I tweak this a little bit, maybe if I change this a little bit, you know what I mean? As there's a lot of celebs we've seen over the years who have had these procedures, and we see them totally like morph into something else over the years. And I personally feel like with a lot of these individuals, after a certain amount of procedures, they start getting this look. Like Lil' Kim got the look now. Y'all feel me on that? Remember 50 Cent said, used to think Lil' Kim was hot till she started fucking with her nose. But yeah, there just seems to be a point of no return where, like, they just get that look, that altered look, I guess we could say. But you heard it from a dude who definitely was around Mike. I almost called him Iron Mike. That's Mike Tyson, who was around Michael Jackson very often. It was the family, mostly the father, clowning on, or not clowning, but just commenting on his nose a lot that bothered him. And I mean, not even speaking of Michael Jackson, just in real life, so often it seems everything is tied to our relationship or lack thereof relationship with our parents. I mean, more and more as I get older, I see more stuff. Like, I don't know, y'all know what I'm talking about when you get to that mid-age part of your life and certain things just become more clear. It's like, it's wild, man. And you know, there's a lot of theories out there that Michael Jackson, a lot of other stuff about how he was as an adult, and you know, certain things like that had to do with his pops as well, you know, having him work real hard on music all the time, and just kind of, you know, comment if y'all ever heard that theory that, you know, he just wanted to go back to the childhood that he wished that he had. I mean, obviously, got kind of crazy. Well, I mean, listen, some people say Michael Jackson was like a sick individual and a criminal. Some people say that was all cap and he was being framed and shook down. I mean, when it went to court, he beat the case. This stuff was re-brought back up back when the Neverland documentary came out or whatever. But comment and let me know what you believe about Mike, if you believe. But what I didn't know when he was all that sick stuff or not, I don't know if this was ever confirmed, but it would make sense with the whole Neverland thing that he wanted to look like Peter Pan so he could like never grow up. Did you ever hear that? That's pretty wild. That's pretty crazy, man. But individuals that I've heard that say that that's all it was with Mike, was that he didn't want to grow up, that he wanted to go back to have that youth that he never had, whatever you want to call it, the condition or mental condition that he had. You know, that he himself was like a child, so you know he didn't think that way in a sick way. Tap in with it though, hit the comments, share your thoughts. Then we got some other news, man, an update. We started hearing reports of this over a year ago, but then, you know, there was reports coming out to counter that, saying that it wasn't true, that Wendy Williams was suffering from dementia or something like that. As we saw her less and less in the spotlight, she started to fade away. But now it's actually come out, she's saying it is facts, it's aphasia that she's been diagnosed with, which is the same thing that Bruce Willis has. And you know, it's can get ugly from what I've heard. I mean, I remember hearing people that worked with Bruce Willis on some of his later films were saying he didn't remember things from 5 minutes ago. He didn't remember that he was filming a movie. He thought he was really in a restaurant at one point in time when, you know, they would reset the scene. The server, they were like in a coffee shop or whatever. She'd come over and fill up the coffee cup. And like he eventually, like every time they would do a take, that's how they would reset the scene, and he would cover up the coffee and say, yo, I'm good, I don't need any more. Like he was literally forgetting that he was filming a movie. So I don't know, you know, Wendy Williams is now come out and confirm that this is what it is. And she is apparently now the word is that like she's trying to get awareness out there and, you know, remove the stigma that comes from around this kind of condition, and just let people know what it is. It's so wild. Just a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we were talking about Wendy Williams, the movie coming out and all that. Now it's this. It's crazy. Things can change up in a year to 2 years so much. Don't you ever forget that anyway, man. Always stay focused and get the most out of your life, y'all. Now check this out, y'all, to close it on out. Last topic we got. This is crazy, man. There's this trial going on right now where the former president of Honduras, what's his name, Juan Orlando Hernandez, you know, someone just, he's going to court. Allegedly he was tied in with cartels and stuff like that, El Chapo, for years. And this one guy who was a former mayor of a Honduran town, El Paraíso, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, check out what he said in court. He testified that El Chapo gave the former president's brother $1 million in a briefcase, and this was in hopes that his election would secure a drug trafficking route through Honduras. And this guy, you know, was a former supplier of El Chapo, testified that. And then the former mayor of this Honduran town, people, what he said that he overheard the former president say that, you know, he wanted to see America harmed by, you know, the drug cartels, that he wanted to be able to, you know, secure a drug trafficking route to come right through Honduras into the U.S. And Peabody said he wanted to stuff drugs up the noses of the gringos, you know, that he wanted to make money and flood the United States, like do his part to help and get paid to flood the United States with drugs. And they're saying, you know, this trial that's going on is really going to paint a picture of how the cartel works and exactly how the drugs get from, you know, Central and Latin American countries right into the U.S. and end up, you know, on the streets and towns and suburbs and inner cities and everywhere across America. That's wild though, right? He said he shove the drugs up the noses of the gringos, man. Like, hey, business is business. I know individuals want to make money, man. We talk about that all the time with a lot of stuff in America, man. Capitalism, money over everything, the dollar over morals. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of individuals in business, if that cash flow is coming in, they're like, hey, like, business is business. I ain't worried about what my drugs do to someone, you know. McDonald's, they ain't worried about all the heart conditions and diabetes that they're causing, etc. You feel me? Like, often a lot of people making money will justify it like, you know, that ain't on me. I'm just a businessman. But to hear someone actually come out and say, like, no, I want to make this money and fuck America and fuck them Americans, or just to say fuck someone, period. Like, I don't just want to make the money. They're, you know, saying I want to hurt a motherfucker. That's pretty wild, man. But that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Talk to me in the comments, y'all. Sub up, like that video. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace and God bless.